Are you unknowingly handing your enemies the keys to your downfall? In a world where every word you speak and every move you make is silently judged, being too open can cost you everything. Today, we'll uncover Machiavelli's timeless warning how to protect yourself from those secretly reading you and turn their scrutiny into your strength. Greetings, seekers of wisdom in a world of shadows. I am your guide, steeped in the cunning counsel of Niccolò Machiavelli, the master of human nature's darker truths. In this age of open books and unguarded tongues, where every word is a window to your soul, there lies a peril few heed. They are watching, your allies, your rivals, your so-called friends silently reading your every gesture, plotting to turn your openness into their gain. Tonight, we unravel Machiavelli's timeless warning. Stop being open, for they are secretly reading you. Through his lens, we shall arm you with the art of concealment, the shield of strategy, and the power of mystery. Let us begin. The danger of transparency. Greetings, you who navigate the treacherous waters of human ambition. I am your guide, drawing from the sharp wisdom of Niccolò Machiavelli, the master who saw through the veil of human pretense. Today, we confront a truth that can either shield you or shatter you, the danger of transparency. Imagine yourself standing in a crowded hall, your every word, gesture, and glance laid bare for all to see. You speak freely, believing honesty will earn you allies, trust, perhaps even admiration. But pause, look closer. In the shadows, eyes glint with calculation. Every syllable you utter is a key you hand to those who would unlock your ruin. To be too open, Machiavelli warns, is to invite betrayal, to paint a target upon your back for the cunning to strike. Let's dive into this peril and learn why your openness might be your greatest weakness. Picture a prince, noble and sincere, addressing his court. His heart is an open book, his plans for peace, his fears of rebellion, his hopes for prosperity all spill forth like wine from a tipped goblet. He believes candor will bind his people to him, that transparency will forge loyalty. But what does Machiavelli see in this scene? A fool. Men are so simple, he writes, and so much creatures of circumstance, that the deceiver will always find someone ready to be deceived. The prince's openness is not a virtue, it's a vulnerability. His advisors note his fears, his rivals catalog his plans, and even his friends weigh how to turn his words to their advantage. Every confession is a crack in his armor, every truth a weapon for his foes. In your own life, think of the moments you've shared too much. A dream confided to a colleague, a doubt whispered to a friend, a plan revealed in a burst of enthusiasm. You thought you were building trust, but were you also building a trap? Consider the world we inhabit, a stage where every interaction is a performance, whether you know it or not. In boardrooms, coffee shops, or even the digital squares of social media. Your words are not just heard, they're dissected. That casual remark about your ambitions, it's a map to your desires, handed to those who might use it to outmaneuver you. That fleeting complaint about a struggle, it's a signal of weakness noted by those who thrive on exploiting cracks. Machiavelli knew this. To be transparent is to be predictable, and to be predictable is to be controlled. When you lay bare your thoughts, you surrender the power to shape how others perceive you. The merchant who hears of your wealth begins to scheme for a share. The rival who learns of your plans adjusts their own to counter yours. Even the friend who nods sympathetically might store your words for a day they turn against you. Transparency, in this sense, is not just risky, it's reckless. Let's paint a modern picture. You're at a networking event, glass in hand, mingling with charm and ease. You share your startup idea, your vision for the future, your struggles with funding. The crowd nods, smiles, encourages you to go on. But among them are wolves in tailored suits, listening not to support, but to strategize. One might steal your idea. Another might whisper your vulnerabilities to a competitor. And a third might use your openness to paint you as naive. Machiavelli's world of Renaissance courts is not so different from ours. The stakes may have changed, thrones replaced by corner offices, swords by subtle betrayals, but the principle remains. When you reveal too much, you give others the tools to undo you. Your openness becomes their leverage. Why is this so dangerous? Because human nature, as Machiavelli saw it, is driven by self-interest. People don't listen to you to understand you. They listen to gain an edge. Your transparency is their opportunity. A colleague who knows your frustrations can use them to undermine your confidence. A competitor who hears your strategy can pivot to outflank you. Even those closest to you, those you trust, may not resist the temptation to use your candor against you when the moment suits them. Machiavelli's warning is clear. The world is not a safe haven for open hearts. To speak freely is to assume others will meet your honesty with the same goodwill. But goodwill is rare and calculation is common. By baring your soul, you hand others a script to your downfall. Think of the times you've regretted oversharing. That moment you told a friend about a personal struggle, only to hear it echoed in gossip later. Or the time you shared a bold idea at work, only to see it claimed by another. These are not accidents. They're the cost of transparency in a world that thrives on secrets. Machiavelli urges us to see the game for what it is. A chessboard where every move is watched, every piece a potential threat. To be open is to play with your pieces exposed, inviting your opponent to strike. The danger lies not in speaking, but in speaking without strategy. Every word you offer should serve a purpose, every revelation a calculated step. Otherwise, you're not just sharing, you're surrendering. Welcome back, you cunning navigators of a world teeming with hidden motives. I am your guide, channeling the piercing insights of Niccolò Machiavelli, the man who saw the chessboard of human nature for what it truly is, a battlefield of watchful eyes and calculating minds. Today, we delve into a truth that hums beneath every interaction: the silent observers. They are everywhere, lurking in the corners of your life, studying your every word, your every gesture, with a hunger not for connection, but for advantage. Machiavelli knew this well. Men judge more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see, but few can touch. The world is a gallery of spectators, and you, whether you know it or not, are the spectacle. Let's unmask these silent watchers and learn how their gaze shapes your fate. Imagine yourself in a bustling marketplace, not of goods but of ideas and ambitions. You're at a meeting, a party, or scrolling through the endless scroll of social media. You speak, you laugh, you share a piece of yourself, a plan, a doubt, a dream. You think you're engaging in harmless exchange, but pause. Look around. The colleague nodding at your idea isn't just listening. They're cataloging. The friend who mirrors your enthusiasm isn't just supportive. They're measuring. The stranger who lingers on your post isn't just curious. They're collecting. These are the silent observers, and their silence is not neutrality. It's strategy. Machiavelli understood that every interaction is a transaction, and those who watch you most closely are often the ones with the most to gain. Your words, your expressions, even your silences are their currency. Let's set the scene. You're at work, pitching a bold new project to your team. You're passionate, animated, laying out your vision with conviction. The room seems attentive, but what's really happening? One colleague notes the cracks in your confidence, another clocks the scope of your ambition, and a third, perhaps your rival, files away your strategy to use against you later. Machiavelli's wisdom rings true here. People don't just see you, they study you. They're not listening to understand your heart. They're dissecting your words to map your weaknesses. That casual mention of a tight deadline, it's a signal to someone looking to outshine you. That hint of frustration with a client, it's ammunition for a gossip to twist. The silent observers are always there, piecing together a puzzle of you, not out of kindness, but out of opportunity. Why do they watch so closely? Because knowledge is power, and you are their source. In Machiavelli's world of Renaissance intrigue, courtiers watch their prince's every move, not to serve him better, but to anticipate his next step, to curry favor, or to plot his downfall. Today's world is no different. The coworker who asks about your weekend isn't just making small talk. They're probing for leverage, perhaps to learn what distracts you or what drives you. The acquaintance who likes every post you share online isn't just friendly. They're building a profile of your desires, your fears, your patterns. Even those closest to you, your friends, your family, can become observers when stakes are high. Machiavelli saw this as the nature of man. He who has the power to harm you is the one who will watch you most. The silent observers don't announce their intentions. They cloak them in smiles, nods, or silence. Picture a modern court, a corporate boardroom, a social gathering, or even a family dinner. You share a bold opinion, a personal struggle, or a glimpse of your plans. The room seems warm, receptive, but beneath the surface, the observers are at work. One takes note of your confidence, wondering how to undermine it. Another hears your vulnerability and stores it for a day they need leverage. A third sees your ambition and resolves to outpace you. Machiavelli's warning is stark. The more you reveal, the more you arm them. Your openness is their blueprint, your candor their canvas. They don't need to touch you to know you. They only need to watch. And in watching, they gain the upper hand, turning your transparency into their triumph. This isn't paranoia, it's reality. Think of a time you shared too much. Maybe you vented about a boss to a colleague, only to hear your words whispered back through the office grapevine. Or perhaps you posted about a career milestone online, only to notice a competitor suddenly mimicking your moves. These are the silent observers at work, turning your openness into their edge. Machiavelli's counsel is to assume you're always being watched, because you are. Every conversation, every post, every glance is a performance, and the audience is rarely neutral. They're not just seeing you, they're reading you, decoding you, using you. To thrive in this world, you must learn to see them first, to sense their gaze before it pins you down. Greetings, you who tread the perilous paths of ambition and influence. I am your guide, wielding the sharp-edged wisdom of Niccolò Machiavelli, the sage who taught us to navigate the shadows of human intent. Today, we unravel a skill that separates the powerful from the pawns, the art of concealment. In a world where every word you speak is a window to your soul, and every gesture a map to your motives, openness is a luxury you cannot afford. They are watching, your rivals, your allies, even your friends, waiting to turn your candor into their gain. Machiavelli's counsel is clear. To survive, you must hide your true intentions, guard your plans, and reveal only what serves your purpose. Let's master this art and learn how to shield ourselves from the silent observers. Picture yourself as a prince in a Renaissance court, surrounded by courtiers who smile but scheme. You have a grand vision, a plan to secure your legacy, but to speak it aloud is to invite sabotage. Machiavelli advises, a prudent man should always follow in the path trodden by great men and imitate those who are most excellent. The great ones, he observed, were masters of concealment, showing only what advanced their cause. Your life is no different. Whether you're pitching a project at work, negotiating a deal, or sharing a dream with a friend, every moment is a stage, and you must control the script. To be open is to hand your enemies a blueprint. To conceal is to keep them guessing, stumbling in the dark while you move with purpose. Let's bring this to our world. You're in a meeting, your mind buzzing with a bold strategy to outshine a competitor. The room expects you to speak, to lay out your vision, but pause, why give them everything? If you reveal your full plan, you risk a rival stealing it, a colleague undermining it, or a superior claiming it as their own. Instead, offer a fragment, a carefully chosen piece that sparks interest but hides the core. Machiavelli's heroes, like Cesare Borgia, thrived by showing just enough to inspire confidence while keeping their true moves veiled. When asked about your next step, deflect with a question. What do you think we should prioritize? When pressed for details, offer vague promises. I'm exploring some exciting options. This isn't deceit, it's strategy, a shield against those who would exploit your transparency. Why is concealment so vital? Because the world is a chessboard, and every player seeks an advantage. Your openness is their weapon. A careless word about your goals can tip off a competitor. A hint of doubt can embolden a critic. Machiavelli knew that men judge by appearances. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. By guarding your intentions, you shape how others see you. Imagine you're launching a startup. You might share your passion for the idea, but never the specifics of your funding or timeline. Let others speculate, let them wonder. Their uncertainty is your strength. The less they know, the less they can predict, and the more control you retain. Think of a time you shared too much a plan, a fear, a hope, only to see it used against you. Perhaps you told a colleague about a promotion you were eyeing, only to find them positioning themselves for it. Or maybe you confided a personal struggle, only to hear it echoed in gossip. These are the wages of openness in a world that thrives on leverage. Machiavelli's answer is to become a fortress of your own thoughts. Speak in riddles, not revelations. When you must share, let it be deliberate, a calculated move to mislead or misdirect. If you're negotiating, hint at options you don't have to make your position seem stronger. If you're competing, let slip a false weakness to lure your rival into a mistake. The art of concealment is about controlling the narrative others build about you. In practice, this means mastering restraint. At a social gathering, when someone probes about your next career move, smile and pivot. I'm keeping my options open. What about you? Online, when you post about a success, keep it vague enough to inspire curiosity, but not envy or imitation. Even with those you trust, hold something back, not out of mistrust, but wisdom. Machiavelli's world was one of constant scrutiny, and ours is no different. Every conversation, every post, every glance is a chance to reveal or conceal. Choose the latter. By guarding your thoughts, you create a fog around your motives, forcing others to hesitate, to second guess, while you move with clarity. The art of concealment is not about hiding who you are. It's about revealing only what keeps you in command. Greetings, you cunning architects of your own destiny, navigating a world where every step is watched and every word weighed. I am your guide, steeped in the ruthless wisdom of Niccolò Machiavelli, the master who taught us to wield the shadows as skillfully as the light. Today, we delve into a craft that separates the victorious from the vanquished: strategic deception. This is not the petty deceit of liars, but the calculated art of shaping perceptions, of guarding your true aims while leading others to see what you wish. Machiavelli declares, "A prince must be a lion to frighten wolves, and a fox to recognize traps." In a world where transparency invites betrayal, strategic deception is your shield and sword, a way to turn the gaze of silent observers into your advantage. Let's unravel this art and learn how to wield it with precision. Imagine you're a general on a battlefield, your enemies circling, waiting for a misstep. To reveal your strategy, your troop movements, your reserves, is to invite defeat. Instead, you plant false signals, a decoy camp, a feigned retreat, a whispered rumor of weakness. Your foes, misled, stumble into your trap. This is the essence of strategic deception, and Machiavelli saw it as the cornerstone of power. In our world, the battlefield is subtler, but no less ruthless. You're in a boardroom, a negotiation, or a social circle, and every interaction is a skirmish for influence. To lay bare your plans is to hand your rivals the map to outmaneuver you, but to deceive strategically, to show a fragment of truth while hiding the whole, is to control the game. This is not about betrayal, it's about survival, about ensuring your ambitions outlast those who would exploit you. Let's bring this to life. You're pitching a project to a skeptical client. If you reveal your full strategy, your budget constraints, your tight timeline, you risk them exploiting your limits, demanding more for less. Instead, you offer a carefully curated truth, enthusiasm for the project, a hint of other interested parties, a suggestion of flexibility you may not have. You don't lie, you simply shape their perception. Machiavelli's exemplar, Cesare Borgia, mastered this. He smiled at his enemies, dined with them, all while plotting their downfall. His openness was a mask, his deception a blade. You can do the same. When a colleague asks about your next career move, don't reveal your target role. Hint at multiple paths to keep them guessing. When a competitor probes your plans, let slip a half-truth that leads them astray. Strategic deception is about giving just enough to mislead, while your true intentions remain locked away. Why is this art so crucial? Because the world, as Machiavelli saw it, is a web of self-interest. People don't engage with you to help you. They seek to gain from you. Your honesty is their leverage, your clarity their weapon. If you confess your weaknesses, they'll exploit them. If you share your goals, they'll block them. But if you master strategic deception, you turn their scrutiny into your tool. Imagine you're vying for a promotion. Instead of boasting about your achievements, which invites envy, you subtly highlight a minor flaw, a project you wish had gone smoother, to make your rival overconfident. Or in a negotiation, You suggest a concession you never intended to make, only to retract it later, making your final offer seem generous. These are the moves of the fox, cunning and deliberate, ensuring you stay one step ahead. Think of a time you were too open and it cost you. Perhaps you shared a business idea with a friend, only to see them launch something similar. Or maybe you admitted a doubt in a meeting, and a rival used it to question your competence. These are the wages of transparency in a world that rewards cunning. Machiavelli's answer is to wield deception as a strategy, not a sin. When asked about your plans, answer with ambiguity. I'm exploring some interesting possibilities. When pressed for weaknesses, deflect with confidence. Every challenge is a chance to grow. Even in personal relationships, a touch of mystery can protect you. Share enough to build trust, but never so much that you lose control. The silent observers are always watching, waiting for a slip. Strategic deception ensures they see only what you want them to see. In practice, this means mastering the art of misdirection. At a networking event, when someone probes your ambitions, pivot to their goals. That's an interesting question. What's driving you these days? Online, when posting about a success, frame it to inspire awe, not imitation. A vague hint of progress, not a detailed roadmap. Even with allies, hold back. The full picture. Trust is earned, not assumed. Machiavelli's world of courts and conspiracies mirrors our own, where every conversation is a chance to gain or lose ground. By weaving strategic deception into your words, you create a shield against exploitation and a path to influence. You become not a liar, but a master of the game, shaping perceptions while safeguarding your true aims. Welcome, you shrewd navigators of a world where every glance is a probe and every word a potential weapon. I am your guide, channeling the dark brilliance of Niccolò Machiavelli, the master who taught us to wield the unseen as our greatest strength. Today, we explore a force that commands respect and thwarts betrayal, the power of mystery. In a realm where transparency invites exploitation, to be an enigma is to hold the reins of power. Machiavelli understood this. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. By shrouding your intentions in shadow, you become untouchable, unpredictable, a force others dare not challenge. Let's unlock this power and learn how to make the unknown your greatest ally. Picture a prince in a Renaissance court, his every move watched by courtiers hungry for influence. He speaks little, reveals less, and his silence breeds unease. His rivals hesitate, his allies tread carefully, and even his enemies pause, unsure of his next move. Why? Because mystery is a shield that deflects control. When others cannot predict you, they cannot manipulate you. In our world, this truth holds fast. Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, building a business, or navigating the tangled web of relationships, the less others know of your true motives, the more they respect or fear you. To be an open book is to invite others to write your story. To be a mystery is to hold the pen yourself. Let's bring this to your life. You're in a high-stakes meeting, pitching for a promotion. The room is filled with colleagues, some allies, some rivals, all watching for a hint of your strategy. If you lay bare your ambitions, your plan to streamline operations, your vision for growth, you give them a map to undermine you. Instead, you offer a glimpse, a vague promise of innovative changes, or a cryptic nod to new opportunities. You don't lie. You simply withhold, letting their imaginations fill the gaps. Machiavelli's heroes, like the cunning Caesar Borgia, thrived on this. Borgia's silence was a weapon, his unpredictability a fortress. When others asked of his plans, he deflected with charm, leaving them to wonder. You can do the same. When a competitor probes your next move, smile and say, "I'm keeping things fluid for now, what's your approach?" Their uncertainty becomes your leverage. Why does mystery wield such power? Because humans fear what they cannot grasp. Machiavelli saw this in the courts of Italy, where the unknown was a specter that paralyzed even the boldest schemers. In our time, the principle endures. A colleague who can't read your intentions hesitates to cross you. A rival who can't predict your strategy falters in their own. Even friends, when unsure of your deeper motives, tread with caution. Think of the influencer who shares just enough to captivate, but never enough to be fully known. Their allure lies in what they conceal. Or the entrepreneur who hints at a groundbreaking project, but keeps the details locked away, sparking curiosity while dodging imitation. Mystery creates a void, and others fill it with their assumptions, their doubts, their fears, all of which you can shape to your advantage. Recall a moment you overshared and paid the price. Perhaps you revealed a career goal to a friend, only to see them quietly compete for the same prize. Or maybe you posted a detailed plan online, only to find others copying your vision. These are the costs of clarity in a world that thrives on leverage. Machiavelli's answer is to embrace the fog of mystery. When asked about your plans, offer ambiguity. I'm exploring some paths, but nothing's set yet. When pressed for your thoughts, redirect. I'm curious, what do you make of this? Even in casual moments, hold back a piece of yourself. Share a success, but not the strategy behind it. Hint at a struggle, but not its depth. This isn't coldness, it's control. A way to keep others guessing while you move with purpose. In practice, mystery is about selective silence. At a networking event, when someone digs into your goals, pivot with a question. That's an interesting angle. What's driving your work right now? Online, craft posts that intrigue without revealing. A photo of a desk with a cryptic caption, not a blueprint of your next move. Even with those you trust, maintain a sliver of reserve, not out of paranoia, but wisdom. Machiavelli's world of whispered plots and hidden daggers mirrors our own, where every conversation is a dance of power. By embracing mystery, you become the choreographer, not the dancer. You force others to react to you, to second, guess their moves while you advance unhindered. The power of mystery lies in its ability to make you untouchable, a shadow others chase but never catch. And so, you stand at the crossroads, armed with the timeless wisdom of Niccolò Machiavelli, a guide through the shadowed labyrinth of human ambition. I, your narrator, have led you through the perils of transparency, where openness invites betrayal, the vigilance of silent observers who turn your words into their weapons, the art of concealment, which shields your intentions, the craft of strategic deception, which turns their scrutiny to your advantage, and the power of mystery, which makes you untouchable. These lessons are not mere relics of a bygone era. They are the keys to thriving in a world where every interaction is a battle for control. Machiavelli's warning echoes through the ages. To be read is to be undone, but to guard your heart and wield your silence is to command your fate. Go forth not as an open book, but as a fortress of enigma, where your true motives remain your own. Let others stumble in the fog of your mystery, while you carve your path to power. Subscribe for more insights from the masters of strategy. Share this wisdom with those who need it, and tell us in the comments, how will you wield Machiavelli's lessons in your own court of life?